For those of you who are watching the video portion of this, hey, look, the stick is still here. I think it's going to remain here until I get myself a new mic. But until then, we have a little bit of nature in the midst of all of this technology. So, welcome, nature. You are always welcome here. Today we have, tea. Of course we have tea. Today's tea is, again, not sponsored, but we have stash tea. Love me a good stash tea. Today it is a licorice orange. So for those of you who love it, I'm trying it out. Normally I am not a licorice person, but so happy with it. I am delighted by it. So if those of you who want to step out of your tea comfort zone, get into some licorice tea with orange. It is wonderful.
Hi, everyone. You're tuning in to the Perfectly Powerfully You podcast, a space of epic positivity, radical self expression, and transformational growth. Join me in celebrating this beautiful thing we call life with even greater ease, flow, and authenticity.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Perfectly Powerfully You podcast. I'm your host, Nikita, and I trust, hope, and expect that you all are having a super duper and delightful day. Now, today I am super duper delighted to be stepping into this podcast with you as conscious co-creators of the life that we would absolutely love living. And as we are continuously endeavoring to live the life that we would love living, we are going to come up against barriers, limiting beliefs, stories we tell ourselves about what is true in our life, what is possible for us, what is not possible, what is unfathomable. And lately, I have been coming up against my own paradigm. Woohoo! Yay for paradigms. I am always jazzed, ha ha ha, to see them. One, because I know that whenever something is coming up for me, it means that I am ready to shift it. And so for you in your life, if you are feeling a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of fear, a little bit of I can't do this, put it off till later, procrastination, perfectionism, yay, yay, yay. Good job for noticing because it means that this particular paradigm is ready to be shifted. Now, we are going to be stepping into even more how we signal safety in our body, how we take these leaps of faith while also not doing it in a way that feels too risky for us, but while also feels like you're on the green growing edge of your own becoming, that you're doing something a little out of normal, but we're going to be doing it in a way that feels right, that feels good for us, but also a little uncomfortable. So today, if you are ready to find the balance between your fear and your faith, navigating uncertainty without abandoning yourself, creating safety while also choosing expansion, and taking real steps now, not later, then continue to listen into this very powerful podcast. Say that 10 times fast. Now, as many of you probably already know, if not, welcome to the evolutionary trait of our nervous system. Oftentimes, our body loves and craves familiar, comfortable, normal, and all of this because it is familiar, it is comfortable, it is normal, and predictability for us equals safety. And safety is fantastic for keeping us, well, safe. And so we don't get eaten by a lion and or die. And that is the job of our body. So thank you, body, in advance for keeping us safe and comfortable and not letting us die. Now, oftentimes, our old paradigms, which are a system of beliefs, habits, and stories that we tell ourselves repetitively enough that they become basically the hardware system inside our brain. And oftentimes, this feeling of wanting to stick to what's safe comes with this feeling of job security, with our particular habits or routines, and oftentimes external circumstances that allow us to continue to stick to feel like what we know to be true for us, who we know us to be, what we know our life to be like. And if anything is out of the normal, we know it because it's not part of our daily routine. Now, when we live by default, it means that oftentimes our body is more scared of us actually losing something instead of seeking something greater than ourselves. Because even though sometimes the pull to go after what we want is really, really enticing. Now, this can be a fun one because oftentimes we have a threshold for what we know to be true and normal for us. And when we continue to live into this, it means that our discomfort versus comfort level, even if it's uncomfortable, is comfortable for us because we know it to be part of our life and we just build up tolerance. And one way I really love to think about this that helps me realize when I'm staying comfortable in my discomfort is kind of like when you are like poking yourself and you feel it and you feel it and feel it until one day that poke, you just don't feel it. Like your body becomes numb to it. And so I would love to ask and propose this to you guys. Is there a feeling of numbness or comfortable in your discomfort that is trying to get your attention? Now, oftentimes, that if a tap on the shoulder doesn't get your attention, then your body and life, when it's ready to make a change, is going to amp it up. And so it's going to be like a two by four to the face where it has to bring you out of this comfortable uncomfortableness to make it so uncomfortable that you are ready to make a change. However, as conscious co-creators of the life that we would absolutely love living, we are maybe and possibly in this moment of I'm just so uncomfortable with my life right now, or this certain aspect of my life that I'm ready to make a change. But there can be also a more interesting one when you are pulled by a vision. Now, Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith says that oftentimes when we are ready for a change, that we are often pushed by pain until we're pulled by a vision. Now, this is when a vision statement, a 3 year plan, a 5 year plan, 10-year plan can be really enticing. And I often encourage people to have one of these. And I often reference back to mine whenever I feel a little bit off track with where I'm at. I'm like, oh, right, does this feel like it's still pulling me in this direction? Does this feel like it's a yes, yes, yes? This is absolutely what I would love my life to be. Now, if you are at the level of fact in a position where you are very uncomfortable and you're ready to make a change, great. And I would also encourage you, okay, you know what you don't want right now. That is very obvious to you. But what would you love if you knew that money, time, support, and all the material resources were at your disposal? What would you absolutely love? And take stock of this and really lean into if you knew that you were fully and abundantly resourced, what is it that you would absolutely love to have in life? And keep hold of that vision because it'll help you continue to guide you in the direction of where you want to be. Now, this is why oftentimes we resist the leap into our dreams, is because our body inherently wants to keep us in our comfort zone. And so, understanding this and bringing this to our conscious awareness right off the hop, just knowing that, of course, it'll be a little uncomfortable when you are ready to make a leap in the direction of your dreams that is something new in your life. Now, how do we redefine creating safety and signaling safety in our body to make it so it feels safe to take that leap, that you are going to be even more okay on the other side of this? Now, safety isn't found in predictability. Safety is actually found in our ability to hold space for ourself. This is where we dive into how we regulate our nervous system to make ready for the change. Now, something that helps me that I would love to offer you whenever I'm about to make a big leap or whatever, what feels like a big leap is I hold true to this vision that I was telling you about. And I go into a meditative state. I take time out of my day, morning and night, to envision myself already living this life. Now, what this does is that if you can see it in your mind's eye, you can feel it in your body, you can hear it, what it sounds like, this becomes more normal for your body. Now, I want you to really think about this for a second, because if we think that there is safety in predictability, why not make your dream predictable? Why not make the vision that you are thinking about constantly, even before it's manifested in your reality, something your body is already aware of, mentally and physically in one form or another? Now, this is when you actively take time out of your day to do this. Because when you continue, and this is a shout out to Joe Dispenza, fire and wire these neurons, they become stronger. They become something that your body's going to naturally lean into because it's not something foreign. You're not waiting for the outside circumstances to change before your body's like, hey, look, something new. You're already doing that yourself. Breath work can also be a fantastic way that you can signal safety and get your body ready in the process of taking this big leap. Now, when I say get your body ready before you take the leap, it can be when you feel this anxiety, this fear, this nervousness, I'm this feeling of wanting to stay small. When there's a part of you that really wants to play big, but then as soon as you're about to do it, you find yourself contracting. Now, one way that I allow myself to lean in is just taking a step. So, in the process of right before you take a step, while you're taking that step, now, if meditation is something that you do regularly, morning, noon, night, all three if you would love, breathwork can be a great way of being able to signal your body in the moment to allow yourself that space to, instead of contracting, because oftentimes that when you're in a fearful state, your body might and just not breathe at all. And so being conscious of your breath is a fantastic way of being able to regulate your body and get it out of fight or flight and into rest and digest. I think something else that would be really important for you to consider as you're taking these big leaps in the direction of where you would love to head is creating financial and emotional supports for yourself along the way. Because what we're doing as we're taking these steps towards living the life that we would love living with materially manifesting our dream is keeping our eyes forward, keeping them set on our dream. And we're not leaping recklessly here. We are leaping with intention. And it means that if it means carving out time to start the business, to make the podcast, to go on the date, to buy the gym membership, to book the plane ticket, there are things that you can do that allow yourself to not be even more triggered in the process. If at the level of fact your bank account doesn't look like you're able to afford a plane ticket, is there a portion of money that you can set aside for it? Knowing that, oh, maybe I've never taken a break this long in my life. Maybe up until now, you've never taken a month trip in your life. But now you're saying, you know what? I am absolutely the woman who takes this trip. And not only that, I take it with great ease and flow. I take it with my family. I take it knowing when I come back, I'm landing on a very soft cushion of money so I can ease back into my workflow. Now, something that helps me is planning for it. And this is a great way of not only visualizing what it is that you would love to have in life, but also creating tiny chunks to be able to allow your dream to manifest. You don't have to have it all at once. The dreaming up process is just as fun. And you can take this big leap of going on the vacation, of starting the business, of going to the gym and getting that membership by taking these small, chunkable, but actionable steps. All right, now what does this leap actually look like? As I mentioned before, our leaps aren't always dramatic. Sometimes, and most often, they're just tiny, consistent steps in the direction of where you would love to head. There are times when it feels dramatic. You're changing cities, you're quitting the job, you're launching the offer. Whatever these moments feel like to you, they can be one or the other. Now, something that's been coming up in my life is to do my coaching full time. Now, at the level of fact, I'm still full time baking, which I absolutely love doing. And I have been feeling this call to be able to scale back, give my body some rest, and be able to give my gifts and talents and my passions in the direction of one-on-one coaching, of group coaching, of being able to serve and support people in a way that just lights my heart on fire. Now, what does this look like for me? The reason why I started this podcast today is because there was a part of me that was falling into a pattern of all or nothing. I really wanted to just quit the job, quit the bakery, and be able to say, I'm going to put all my energy into the coaching and really move this momentum. And it felt great. It felt scary. There was a part of me that said, Nikki, how the heck are you going to be able to pay for rent, pay for food at the level of fact, only X amount of dollars coming in? And there was a part of me that said, that's fine. There are successful people that go into debt all the time. I'll take out a loan. I'll do all this. And so there was both parts of me that said, Nikki, be practical, think logically about this. And the other part of me that said, nah, girl, it's okay. We'll figure it out as we go. Now, both are valid. There is neither good nor bad in these situations. However, I was noticing this all or nothing mentality about stepping into the next becoming of myself and what I dream of for my coaching business. Now, I'd love to emphasize here that your leap is always energetic first and actionable second. And something that I would love to offer you guys right now, which has helped me along this journey, is if you knew it was going to all work out, what would you do next? Now, for myself, I caught myself in a energetic frequency or feeling tone of I am not happy here. I really want to be somewhere else. Now, and now that we are continuing to be conscious co-creators of the life we would love living. The woman in my vision, the Nikita saying, I absolutely love what I'm doing. Everything is perfect, it's beautiful, amazing. She's not wanting to be anywhere else other than where she is. And there's also that version of her who's saying, what's next? Ooh, I want to take the most delicious next step. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so happy and grateful about where I am, and I'm looking forward to what's next. And then we can ask ourselves in this moment of gratitude, if I knew that it was all going to work out, I knew that it was fully and abundantly resourced, what action step would I take? That is a very different level of energy. And you could ask the same question with the energy of, I really don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else, versus, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm here. What can I do next to move me in the direction of something even greater still? Now, you are going to get very different answers from these different energies, and your mind will go to work and it'll give you evidence and it'll give you things to do that can feel very busy. And if you're not careful, you can keep doing and running the cycle of, I really don't want to be here. I really want to be somewhere else. This sucks. I'm not happy versus it's okay. It's okay for things to be not okay sometimes. And also knowing that I'm right where I'm meant to be. I'm grateful for everything I have now. Now, how can I align myself with where I'd love to be next? Now, even though I really wanted to, just quit my job and go somewhere else, there's a part of me that says, how can we be more strategic about this? How can I signal safety in my body where I know that I'm doing the best for me and the best for not only my emotional self, but my financial health, my relationship health? There are so many facets than just if I do this, then I'll get a better result. And so, how I've been able to lean into it is to say, okay, well, if I knew that it would all work out anyways, what would I do over the next 3 to 6 months where I could, scale back a bit? And so I started to create this plan of okay, how much is the bare minimum that I need? How much can I cushion myself where if I did want to take these next couple months off to really hone in on my dream, how much would I need so that I can support myself? And the wheels kept turning, the things kept coming up. And I said, okay, well, I'd put aside this money and I could plan it for this month. And I'll dedicate this full month to being even more full time as a coach. And I said, okay, actually, that feels so much better. I said, thank you, Nikki. This is great. Okay. So there can be some things where the actionable step can be just quitting your job and leaving. However, for myself, that didn't feel like the right move. And so, what feels better for me, more intuitive, is being able to create this action plan and set up energetic and hold energetic space for a month where I can lean into it and go and play full out and check back in. Does it still feel good? Is this the right move? What would I love more of? What would I love less of? And it's exactly what I'll encourage for you guys to do. Whether it's creating that awesome business that you were dreaming up, whether it's getting in better shape, whether it's going on that trip or going on that date. What are some things that you can project in the future of what you would absolutely love if you knew that it would all work out for you? And how can you buffer some safety, emotional safeties, financial safeties that allow your body to say, okay, it's all good. I have a backup plan. I have an ability for me to take this step in a way that feels far more comfortable for me while also being a bit of a stretch. Being able to create this plan also signals safety and trust in your body that you have your highest intentions in mind. Our body, like I said before, as I mentioned before, loves safety, loves comfort, loves predictability, and only has your highest intention in mind. Paradigms. Our ego is driven to keep us safe. So if we're going to be doing something reckless or what feels like it's really reckless, that we are not going to be safe on the other side of it, you are less likely to do it. So, honoring this and saying it's okay, we get to live into this dream. We get to visualize what it will look like when it all works out. We get to take these small or large actionable chunks and we can do it in a way where we say, thank you. Like, give yourself a big hug and say, thank you. I'm so excited to continue to lean into this. It feels good to lean into this. And thank you very much for doing it in a way, me, higher self, in a way where I still get to feel happy and I get to feel, ooh, I'm on the green growing edge of my becoming here. And I'm also doing it in a way where I have a plan B, that I will be okay. And even if all the evidence is not known yet, it's all good because at least I have a plan to be able to continue to lean into this a little more and a little more each day. Now, something else that you can also utilize in your conscious co-creating of the life that you would absolutely love living in taking these big leaps is creating a structure of support. It is very easy for us to go back into our comfort zone. I noticed that today when I was hearing a voice in my head saying, put it off till later. At least you know you're going to be getting a regular income. It would be a really stupid idea for you to be doing coaching here. Where are you going to get the money for that? You're not going to survive in this world. And there was a part of me that felt all of these thoughts very physically, and I absolutely wanted to contract back to them. And then I was having a conversation with another one of my coaching friends, and he said, Nikki, I see you as a coach. You are doing such beautiful work. And he's saying, I'm really wanting to lean into, and he was telling me about his coaching business and how his vision for what he would love and the struggles that he's going through, but the ways in which he's supporting himself. And I said, yes, 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 let's get it. Like I was so inspired by him and his journey and how it's not all sunshine and roses and dandelions and daffodils. It's sometimes icky and it's hard, and the comfort zone is so comfy. But having other people alongside you, even if they're just saying, don't give up. You've got something precious here that is good in it for other people's. Hold to that. And even if you don't want to take the biggest leap right now, what's something you can do? And spitball. And every time you feel yourself contracting, lean into the support system, like the Perfectly Powerfully You community. We are here to support each other and our journeys so that wherever we're at in life, we have other people who are also on their own growth journey of consciously choosing a life we would love living by our design, not by circumstances, not by what we think is possible for us, not by what society says we should do, not what our family says would be right to do, but what we would love to do. And those are the kind of people that if you continue to consciously think about it and know that it's possible for you, you are cyclically, psychotically. No, it's not psychotically. Cyclically? I'm gonna go with psychic. You're psychically connecting with other people, with like-minded other people who are thinking the exact same thing as you. If you think possibility, you are gravitating other people of possibility to you. This is why I also created this community. This is why, because together as strong magnets of force, of power, one battery is amazing. But imagine 1,000 batteries working together in cohesion to create something even more amazing and powerful of people who are living a life by their design, of people who are saying no to circumstances and yes to possibility. That is amazing. And so lean on each other. If you're looking for support, reach out to me. I will be your number one support, and I would be happy to continue to offer you advice if you want it, a shoulder to cry on if you need it. Yes, you absolutely can because you deserve it. Reach out because that's going to be one of the number one things that's going to help keep you going is your support community. Now, here is an action step for you to take. Write down 3 things that you can do today that will move you in the direction of your dream. And doesn't matter how big, how small, but I want you to just circle the one that feels the most zingy, that's got some spice to it, that has a pull towards it, and take it. Remember, they don't have to be big, they just have to be bold. And then celebrate the absolute crap out of yourself. You are absolutely not wrong for feeling scared, anxious, worried, or comfortable in the predictability of your life. It's just part of the whole thing. And it's also really, really normal that on the green growing edge of your becoming, as you were taking these leaps towards your dream, you're gonna feel a little scared because it's new. One of my mentors told me that if you are consciously dreaming up this dream, It means that the dream is also calling you. Two sides of each coin, like a boomerang, it comes back to you. It means that there's something here for you, or you wouldn't be dreaming it up because your dream is as unique as your thumbprint. And your dream isn't going anywhere. It's just waiting for you to say yes. Now, if you guys are absolutely ready to take your big leap, whatever that looks like for you, if you would love, please reach out to me because I have and am creating a paradigm busting workbook. Now, for those of you who are listening to this and would love a free sneak peek into what that might look like for you, please DM me PEP or Paradigm Emergency Plan PDF, and I will absolutely send that to you so that as you guys are taking these steps and your paradigms are rising up, wanting you to contract, you have something in your back pocket to allow you to continue to lean into the juiciness of life while also being able to set yourself up for success. That was a good one. I am so happy to be here with you guys today. It feels good to be back. Now, I trust, hope, and expect that you all are going to have a most delicious and amazing rest of your day. And I look forward to talking with you guys real soon.
Thank you all for joining me today because it has been my absolute pleasure to be here with you. Make sure to give this podcast a 5-star review and share it with all your loved ones because it helps in creating even more awesome content. If you're interested in learning how to effortlessly create even more health, vitality, and time and money freedom, sign up for my free monthly vision workshop live over Zoom. Until then, I hope you all have a powerful day, and I look forward to chatting with you all real soon.